Superpowers, superpowers. Drop your ones. Please show your appreciation. Big up everyone dropping the ones in the chat. But without further ado, my brother, the king himself, Davis Williams, come through, my brother.
Yes, family, blessings, everyone. Let me just wipe my camera. How can I be talking about black love and I've got all, residue? I don't know what that is, man. I think it's barbecue sauce. These children are killing me, man. Blessings, everyone. And that poem, brother, I don't know your name. I was trying to find out what it is. Powerful stuff, man. What you're doing with the words and just the arrangement, it's not even 5 o'clock yet. My days. Family, thank you so much, Hidden Science, for having me on this platform. So important. I'm just going to share my screen and just jump straight in. Brother Leon, can you just let me know how much time approximately I've got, please, so I know how much fire I need to breathe?
You got time, brother. You got time. All the way up until 5, so you're good.
Say no more. Say no more. All right. Yes. First and foremost, I got to shout out the Queen. I can't be talking about black love, yeah? Can you imagine me having this discussion and me not hailing her? Like, I'll be finished. Like, that's it, you know what I mean? So I've got to raise up Mish. I know she's listening somewhere. And rise up. And I have to take a moment in it, because you see the sisters, right? The sisters are so needed for our liberation, as a people. So needed. And when I was growing up, I never imagined that, I don't need a sister. I can do it by myself. Yes, I'll have ladies there and so on and so forth. But when you've got a pillar by your side, it's a massive difference. Knowing that, I can come home and the castle is the way I want it to be. These things are so important. And I just got to rise her up. Also, I have to rise up, the Hidden Science Academy. Like, my children, if my children weren't in a park, they'll be here listening right now, because they just love the energy. They love the authenticity of this platform. And even yesterday, like Brother Leon, like, my daughter, she's 14, innit? And she is my little baby. She taught me about love. How about that? Through the experiences and through me trying to connect and me trying to learn and me growing as a man, she taught me what it means to love. And I'm going to touch on that. But even I got a good relationship, yeah? But even when I reflect on my upbringing, I never ever spoke to my parents about certain things. I would keep it outside the house. When it came to like the birds and the bees, relationships, like me talk to mom, growing up, it didn't happen. So I try to correct that. So I'm very transparent. I'm very open with my children. Like, I just talk the things. But because my children see me as the king, God, whatever archetype you want, they just wouldn't. My son would, but my daughter's like, there's a little bit of tension there. Do I say to her, do you have any crushes with anyone? Have you spoke about sexual health? And you can see the awkwardness. She's a sensitive soul, and I'm very fiery. So, you know what I mean? But what was a beautiful yesterday, like literally we was listening to the hidden science of sexual health. Me and my daughter was watching it while I was making some vegan cookies in the kitchen. I was just like, what? And I said to her, like, do you know what orgasm is? And we started having a dialogue. I was just like, oh my Dicky days. Brother Leon, powerful stuff what you're doing. Like, we need to get our children on these platforms, because if they're not listening to us, and also what's beautiful, it does take a village to raise a child, because even though like there's no insecurities involved, but it's just that daughter father energy. Sometimes you need that external factor. You need that, you need that little bit of sauce coming from wherever, just to make things happen. And the Hidden Science is definitely definitely relevant for that. And I just got to like salute. So big up Hidden Science. Also, this is my family. I have to mention my family as well. It's like, it just doesn't feel right. That's my mum with a hat. How many years? My brother was 50. Yeah, last month was 55 years that she's been in this country. And she was celebrating it on on Zoom and stuff. And my mum's a warrior. My dad's with the ancestors at the moment. That's my brother, my sister, and boom. But how's everyone doing? Can I just let me get, because I can't really see any faces or anything like that. When you're on these Zooms, let me just see what I'm working with. All right. Yeah, I'm just seeing some comments in there. Cool. All right. So let's get into this. Today, family, I'm going to share two situations with you. Two situations of how I view Black love in our community. And I'm hoping that I don't trigger no one. some of the content that we're going to be talking about, you know, it might touch a nerve. It might, I say, and it's not my intention. Everything that I'm saying today, family, is coming from love. This is a disclaimer. And also, what I'm saying to liberate our people. Do you know what I mean? To liberate us and to take us to the next stage. That is my intention. So if I do offend anyone whilst having this blame Leon, yeah, because he got me on this platform. But it shouldn't be like that. And also as well, yeah, it's just like this topic, I get so passionate, even though I feel a little bit calm now. I know when I get going, like some fire might come out my mouth. So if fire comes out, also I apologize, you know, it's fire for cooking, not burning, all right? Wicked. Does anyone know what this picture is? This, out of curiosity. You can put it in a chat room, even though I'm having difficulty seeing the chat room. Where was this picture taken? I got it from the internet, but I want to see what you guys are saying. Yeah, this type, like, where's this picture? It's a boy? No, not this boy. It's not in this country, it's in America. Okay, some people say, no idea. Yeah, it's America, definitely America. Haven't got a clue. So this was the focal point, yeah, of Black Wall Street. The focal point of Black Wall Street. It took the kings and the queens. You know, when people talk about Black Wall Street, yeah, we always talk about, boom, the businesses, you know, the hotels, the buses, and you know, all of the other thriving economics, but we don't talk about the family that underpinned Black Wall Street. Without male and female, he or she coming together and making he them, there will be no Black Wall Street. I'm certain of it. And also, it's not just them, there's the children involved as well. So Black Wall Street was, yeah, is an important part of our history, but also what Black love can do. And obviously, we've all seen these figures. Do you know what I mean? We've all seen, yeah, Black Wall Street. So we have to understand how powerful Black love is, how potent it is, and how transformational that energy is. It's literally transformational. So it's not just the whole romantics and, oh, I love you, Black love, melanin, you know, sprinkling sparkles on. It's not all of that. It goes deep in that family. And I do a lot of, I'm going to talk about what I do in a little while, but one of the quotes that I always use when I do sessions, you know, especially when I speak to people, young people especially, which is my expertise, I always say, love is my religion. I am in love with love. I love talking about it. I love it. And family as well is very important. Family is my business. So everything that I do, I try and incorporate my family within my growth as a person. And that was the ethos of Black Wall Street. You know, Black love is awesome, and we all know this.
Say like thank you, and I really appreciate y'all.
One second, let me just share my sound with you guys.
Say like thank you, and I really appreciate y'all for just supporting me and loving me in different ways. But yeah, so what's up, man? I was like, I saw Clayton and I'm like, what is happening right now? Wait.
Take your time. Take your time, bro. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time, bro. What's up? Wow. Brandy.
Get it out. Don't get choked up, bro. Come on.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Red. It's all good.
I'm getting hot, boy. Jeez.
I'm very proud of you for everything that has happened over the past 5-6 years. I remember the first time I saw you, it was on Dick Hendricks' phone. It was on Instagram, and you went to his I said, yup. I said, hey, who that? He's like, oh, that's Brandon. I was like, all right. Man, I had a whole.
Yo, when I first saw that clip, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I choked a little bit in it. I was like, no tears came out, but if it was longer and if I was there, then definitely. But what I loved about that video, yeah, if you watch it, right, like the Queen did not move. Like she just stood there in her power and in her glory, just waiting, you know, and there was such power and the emotional roller coaster, like the guy who was on his knee, you know, started running some jokes. He tried to like compose, beautiful. Like we know how awesome. Like if you know Black Love is awesome, please, I beg you, just like put a little something in the chat room, put it's awesome, it's powerful, because we got to try and tap into this energy today. You know, we got some amazing people that's going to be showing you or sharing some things with you. And but family, I have to be honest, right? You know, what we're going to be talking about is more than the romantics, even though this is the fundamentals, you know, this is the foundation, in my opinion. But we're going to, it's not all. There's more to it than that. There's more to it, kings, if you're listening, than going on one knee or proposing. It's about building an empire, you know. And I'm going to suggest, or I'm going to share some strategies that I've used in my own life to help get me where I am today. So for those that know, my name is Brother Davis J. Williams. You can follow me on Instagram, The Gift of Manhood. And that's actually a nice picture of me, you know. But yeah, Gift of Manhood. And some of you might know me as the Raw Food Chef. So I've got a few, you know, wear different hats. Raw Food Chef is one of my websites, and I do vegan meals, raw vegan meals. If you tasted the food, just drop a little something in the common room, in the chat room. But that's not all that I do, family. That's not all. Also, I am a part of a collective called The Raw Truth, The Naked Truth. And with The Naked Truth, we are a platform where we discuss your naked truth. I don't mean you put on a mask and then you tell us what you want to hear. It's like we get deep and we get down, and it's real powerful. That's a physical event. When we get the venue back up, we're going to be inviting you guys. Also, I'm a part of the Brothers Keeper. Every other Thursday, we do a podcast with myself, another brother called Ade, another brother called Freddie Krueger, and we talk about our experiences as men. You know, so much to talk about, so much. Also, I'm the founder of Manhood Academy. Some of you may have heard of. We've got a documentary on BBC iPlayer at the moment, talking about boys to men. It's in fact all about Black love, but they've given it the title Boys to Men. So definitely, you know, get involved with our movement. What else do I do? Oh yeah, I'm an author of 5 books. I'm a father as well. And yeah, I'm a fiance. And yeah, I'm an Arsenal supporter. If you support Man U, just be quiet, please. And yeah, if you're interested in any of my books, my website is michaelawilliams.com. I'll talk more about that later anyway. Today, we're going to talk about the application of love, family. The application of Black love. I love Black love, don't get me wrong, but also I'm a realist. Yeah, I'm a realist, and sometimes I do rub people up the wrong way because I just want to agitate people into movement. What's happening out there in society, we should not be comfortable. No. We need to be on our front foot, making transformational changes for our children growing up. And what I've seen is we as a people collectively, and if you're already applying it, then I salute. But if you're not, or you know someone that's not applying Black love, then please, after today, get on them. And also, we have responsibilities to our circle. When I look at my friends and my environment, if my environment is not, if it doesn't reflect how I feel, then I need to impact that, or I leave that circle, that environment. So all of us have a responsibility. All of us are light workers. All of us are, you know, the T'Challas. All of us are the kings, the queens. We have to. No one else is doing it for us, family. We have to press that app. Just like we press the app on our phone, we have to press that app called Black Love everywhere we go. But it's going to be challenging, and we're going to talk about that today. I want to greet everyone in a term that I always refer. I always share this with young masters, with the young people, the young boys and girls that I work with. Namaste. And when I came across this, it just made so much sense. I really stopped saying hello and hi guys, hello. It's more namaste. And there's different variations of the definition. The one that gravitates and resonates with me is my soul honors your soul. Like, that's powerful. Like, it's not even me, you know, it's my soul honors your soul. I honor the love, light, beauty, truth, and kindness within you because it is also within me. In sharing these things, there is no distance and no difference between us. We are the same. We are one. And I want to greet everybody listening right now. Namaste, family. Like, we are one. I don't know some of you, but I love you. If you was walking and your heel broke, I would try and save you, innit? Like, if your car broke down, brothers, I would try and help. Like, literally, like, no filter, I'm here. And everything that I say today is said with truth, my truth. Today, I'm going to share two situations with you, yeah? And this is the first situation. And what situation is this again? Yeah. And yes, kings and queens, we are here and we are goddesses, but also we must be honest with each other. So today I want to have an honest conversation with you guys. Literally, like, I'm just going to be so transparent. I'm going to be open, and I'm hoping that that gets reciprocated back from you guys. I can see the chat room as well. And like I said before, I kind of wear different hats, you know. So the hat that I'm going to present now is the naked truth. And when we was doing the naked truth, it was a beautiful, and one of the reasons why we created the naked truth, I want you to imagine, right? Imagine, yeah, you go to a wine bar. We didn't choose community halls or anything like that. It was a wine bar. Why? Because we wanted to reach out, not to the converted, not to the people that already know. We wanted to reach out to people who, yeah, like, they just weren't connected to nothing, you know? They don't know their culture. They don't know their history. Some people say they're ignorant. Some people say they're lost. We wanted to connect with them because we're working with their children. So we see the impact that their inactivity is having on their children's development in school and so on and so forth. So what we did, we hired out wine bars, right? And we would hold a rave, we'd hold a party. But yeah, before the party, we would have a discussion. You know what I mean? So it was like, yeah, you can have a rave. There's a nice little DJ. There's alcohol. People can dance and whatnot. But we're going to have a discussion. And the discussions that we had was around the gap that exists between the kings and the queens. There's a gap. I don't know if some of you have seen it, and I'm going to talk about it. There's a gap in our community between us kings, us men, and our beautiful queens. And we wanted to initiate a conversation. And oh boy, let me tell you, when these events started happening, within like 2 months, we had to upgrade to a bigger venue. A bigger venue. Why? People were coming and talking their things. I'm just like, wow. Like, one of our slogans was, leave your mask at the door. Meaning, don't come in our space with all of this, yo, greetings, hotep. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but don't try and hide behind that, because we're going to throw a question at you. And based on your response, we'll tell us who you are. And you know when someone is being authentic and when someone is, and I know in it because I used to be the original, yeah, I used to be the original finesser, like politician. Don't answer questions straight. I'll just, you know, bend things. And I'm going to talk about black love and applying it. I see you, Patar. You know, I see you. You know, so yeah. So the Naked Truth was a special place. And how the Naked Truth came about. Yeah. So how was it birthed? It was birthed in this place. Yeah, Westfields. And some of you know Westfields. I'm born and raised in East London, so I was in Westfield when it opened on the first day. Just across the road was Stratford Centre, for those that know. And Stratford Centre, because that was my area, you know, like, that's where I learned. Like, I used to go there to like meet girls and, you know, to really practice my confidence and learning how to chirps and learning that you don't go, oi, or yo, like, you approach them. That was my training ground. And then it got upgraded to Westfields. But what happened was, I never forget this day, right? When I was walking in Westfields, and I'm naturally observant. I'm an observant person. I see everything. My children hate it because they will do something and I will just see it. Like, I can't help it, you know? Maybe it's because I play chess a lot. I don't know. So every time I go to Westfield with my children, I'd always see like relationships. Like, if I see someone that looks like me, I'm always looking at them and I'm clocking them. And I started to see a pattern. Right, I started to see a pattern, and I shared this pattern with my missus, and I said, "Yo, honey, like, is it only me?" Yeah, remember, this is situation one. Is it only me? And she was telling me straight, like, "No, man, like, I see it as well." I asked my children, like, "Is it only?" Not that there's anything wrong with it. I don't want to raise my children to be like, you know, oh, that's wrong. I want them to be like, have an open mind, but be aware of certain patterns that happened and why that pattern exists. So one day I said, you know what, I'm going to come westwards by myself, right? I'm going to come westwards by myself with a pen and paper, and I'm going to record my observations. Yeah, I'm going to record it, and then I'm going to feed back and then have a conversation around it. And that's exactly what I did. And what I was looking at, I was looking at different types of relationships, like interracial relationships and normal relationships. Yeah, I call it normal. Yeah, it's normal to me. So we spoke about Westfields, and let me show you certain things now. Yeah. So this is the short version. There's a longer narrative. What I saw, I saw 16 in the space of like an hour and a half, 2 hours in Westfields. There was 16 blended relationships. When I talk about blended, I mean the man was black and the woman was white. Yeah. So I saw 16 blended. And I remember I was like writing it down. I said, okay, boom, I'm going to start with the blended relation. And I was very patient. I had my little soda there. I was eating food. And sometimes I even walked around and I was observing. I felt like a bit, like a detective, an investigator. But it was necessary because I wanted to know for myself. And after that, I was looking for 15. I came across in the same space of time, 15 traditional unions. So that means the man was black and the woman was black. Yeah. And I saw some massive, like, I'm not going to lie, it affected me, it affected me. And I saw some massive differences. And even when I talk to my own people about it, the level of denial is peak. And this is why there's no point talking about black love if we're not going to take real revolutionary action. So let me share what I saw. So let's focus on the blended unions, right? 16 in total. These pictures of this representation, that's not really him. But his smile says a lot in it. So within the period of time, all 14, so out of the 16, 14, yeah, of these blended unions showed signs of physical contact. They showed signs of physical contact. And what is physical contact? It could be in a hug outside of Zara, for instance, or they could have been linking arms, or they could have been skipping. One guy was skipping, literally, I swear to God, he was skipping with excitement. He's allowed to skip in it. He's allowed, but I'm just sharing the observations. You make of it as you want. The love between these 14 was very visible, family. Like, you look at them and you could see love is there, and good for them. Good. I got no like good in it. That's their business. Yeah. Two didn't. Yeah. Two didn't, but they were clearly together. And when I say they were clearly together, like they were walking side by side. Yeah, they were walking side by side. That is massive already. Yeah. My maths is not my strongest, yeah, but that's exactly 16 in 2 hours, But what is for me is that in this short space of time, you could physically see what was going on in that situation. They were unapologetic. I even remember one of the guys, like, a lot of them were like looking at me dead in the eye, like, oh, say something, like, look at, but you could see there was something missing in his psyche. Do you know, it weren't like, I don't know what it is, man. Like, I know, I leave that for the science, for the scientists to deal with. I don't know what was going on there, but something was going on in his psyche, even though we locked eyes, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, they were all proud. They were all proud. They were all happy. Their demeanor and everything else. And yeah, I guess there was a level of friendship there as well. So that was the 16, right? Now let's go to the sorry, man, sorry. Let's go to the traditional black on black relationship. And when people say, oh, the media don't show this, like, this is not the media, family. This is what I saw with my own 2 eyes. This is what I physically saw. So let's put the media out of this. And sometimes we have to do our own observations. Yeah. And I did this more than once. I did this again in Regent's Park. I did it in Peckham. And, even though Peckham was more blackly dense, like, there was something going on there. There was a misconnect. And hey, it is what it is. But we're going to talk about that. So the 15 traditional relationships, yeah? One couple held hands, family. One. Another couple were arm in arm. Yeah, arm in arm. 13 of them, family, showed no contact. There was no contact between them whatsoever. There was a few situations, yeah, where they weren't even walking side by side. They weren't walking side by side. Like, what is this? Are you walking our kings? Are we walking our dogs? Like, what's going on? Is she on the lead? Like, what on? We're not walking side by side in some cases, yeah? 13, no signs of contact, yeah? And I'm not gonna lie, family, some of us might wanna justify it, you know, that's not how we do, like, it is what it is. All I know is our children need to be seeing Black love. And if we can't express Black love, or if it's not visible, then what is Black love? When I saw this, yeah, like literally, because at one point it was just a theory for me, innit? It was just a theory, and I was like, whoa, like literally, like I was in shock. I was affected by this, but I was not surprised. Why? Because I've never held, like prior to that, I felt uncomfortable. I didn't hold girls' hands growing up, like that weren't me. That is me now though, family. And we're gonna talk about that after, yeah? That is me now, but that was not, because I know I was not a man, straight. I'll tell you straight, you know? I was always saying to myself, oh, if I hold my hand, people are gonna see that I love her. And I don't want people to see that I love my woman. Like, that was a narrative that I had in my head, yeah? And I'll be honest and say that. Yeah. Let's move on. I even remember, yeah, because remember, it's my area, innit? It's my neighborhood. And I saw a lot of people that I knew as well. Yeah. I was actually there for a long time. And I saw one of my guys, yeah, one of my homies that I play football with. And I was sharing with him, like I was telling him, I was showing him the stats. I had my little, not my clipboard, my little notepad. And I said, yo, look, what do you think of this? And this is what he said to me. He said that Black people do not show signs of affection. He said it's not African. He told me it's not African to do that. Now, I don't know. I've not researched it, you know. It didn't look right to me. It didn't feel right. It didn't make sense. And that's what gave birth to the Naked Truth. And for myself, it began my journey into looking into love. Like, why was it that even though I was hurt, I contributed to that, towards that statistic heavily? And all my friends did. Like, none of my friends show. Like, we go to barbecues and stuff. Like, you just don't see there's nothing there. Like, it's mad. And maybe some of you guys got different experiences, you know? Anyway, yeah. Black people don't show affection. It's not African. That's what he said. Then I put some of the comments, yeah? I put some of the findings on Facebook, right? It's my wall, yeah? So I can publish people's names. It's my wall on Facebook. It's there right now. You can go and see it, yeah? And one person says, what am I reading, cuz? Seriously? Another person says, sign of the times. Someone else said, boom, I observe these things too. Thank you for reminding others too can see it. Like, people were sharing their experiences. One person says, and this person's in a mixed relationship. Wow, that's kind of scary. Nothing new. I can feel the disdain when when I make contact on the street. So this woman, she's got her white husband, and when she makes contact with us, I guess, like, people give her a look like, oh, you piece of. It is what it like. There's something going on in their family, and it was at the Naked Truth we would unpack and really delve in to these kind of conversations. And we would directly ask people personally, like, there was a lot of sharing, there was a lot of tears, there was a lot of disclosures. Yeah. That was the first situation, family. Yeah. And I reflected a lot. As a young Black man, no one taught me what love was. No one explained it. I saw it on TV, you know, might watch a little bit of porn, you know, might listen to the lads at football, and then you get an idea of, okay, this is what love looks like. But that's not what it is, family. That's what the media projects onto us. And our children now, with their mobile phones, sending dick pics to, I'm not sure it's children, apologies, sending images of nakedness, nudeness to their friends at 12, 13. Like, we have to address this, family. We have to address this, you know. And I'm always asking myself, like, was my friend right? Like, is that what we do? Is that the way it's supposed to be? Are we supposed to be detached from our queens? The most precious entity on this planet Earth. Like, we should be all over you, sisters, and like, it just doesn't. But I understand that I had a lot of growth to do with myself. Yeah, I don't have the answers, family, but it is a discussion that I would like for us to have afterwards. It's a discussion. Yeah, I've got my own theories, my own ideas, but until we can start talking about this, just like yesterday when me and my daughter was talking about sexual health and stuff, until we can start talking about this, you know, we can never, ever turn things around. We must not be ashamed of what's going on. We must talk about it freely, be powerful, be vulnerable, but be transformational at the same time. And whilst I was on my journey, I came across this book. Someone suggested it to me because I started talking to everyone about it. Yo, like, everywhere I go, I don't see black brothers holding the sisters' hand. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I was on a little bit of a tangent, you know what I mean? I was repping for you sisters, because us sisters, I've got your back, you know. Like, the amount of queens that I know, beautiful queens, like, wow. And like, there's no brothers that I know that I can like pair them up with. It's just like it's mad. And I know we might talk about the ratio. There's 1,000 women to one. Like, I don't want to hear none of that. All I'm saying is the kings that I know, right, don't want a certain type of sisters. It's like, is that real? They don't want a certain type of sister. We can have that discussion. There's a problem there that we need to discuss, and we need to bridge that gap. And some of the brothers need healing, and some of the sisters need healing. Together we can heal each other. Yeah. So I came across this book, 5 Love Languages. And for me, this book opened my eye. Like, I was like, wow. I don't give that much credit to the author, Gary Chapman, because I know that these concepts come from, you know, Kemet. It comes from Africa. I have no doubt about that. And then people go there, they learn about different things, and then they pull it in a book and say, yeah, I got a new philosophy. But it's just a concept. And when I came across it in this current packaging here, 5 Love Languages, it was something that resonated with me profoundly. And what I would like everyone to do, we're going to go through the 5 love languages, and then I'm going to present the second situation. There's a second situation that I want to, that I've experienced that I want to share with you guys. But what I would like, family, is please, if you can get a pen and paper, I'll literally give you, like, say, you know, like 10 seconds. Because you might want to make some notes regarding what love language you are. Because at that point, I didn't even know anything about love language. I never even thought, like, why am I calling this sister and she's just not responding? Or why am I speaking in this manner and she's not responding? I never forget the day, ever, right? I was dating a girl, and I was dating a queen, right? I was dating a queen, and it was her birthday, and I got her some amazing tickets for a spa and everything else. And I remember when I presented her and I made a big effort, like, it was a big deal. I put it in a little envelope and I put a little bow on it. I was really trying to make an effort. Do you know what I mean? Because I messed up prior in it, so I was just trying to like balance things out, right? And so when I gave her the gift now, there was no appreciation from her whatsoever. There was none. I gave it to her and she looked at it like, you know, like what's this? And I said, yo, like, I got you tickets, like, for you and one of your friends. Go to the spa, man. Like, get your toes done, you know, scrub under your feet, and, you know, like this unwind. It's for a weekend, you know. She said she wasn't interested. I ain't gonna lie, I got vexed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling a bit vexed now, in it. Like, some of you might have seen my face. It's like, there was no appreciation from her whatsoever. And then I started saying to her, everything I get you, you don't appreciate. I get you gift after gift after gift after gift. It was only when I started reading this book. Yeah, we broke up. Of course we broke up, innit? Like, we broke up terribly. Yeah. And one second. We broke up terribly. And what happened was, yeah, it's only when I started reading this book that I realized that her love language, I was not speaking. I was not connected to her love language. So these are the 5 love languages. And there might be a little bit more, but, you know, like, let's go with these 5 for now. And if you come across one that is yours, just take a note. Yeah, so the first one, in no particular order, is the language of touch. Yeah, touch. This is not my love language. This for you guys to know. I am not that touchy feely, you know. I can be, but it's not something that like I got my love language from my parents, in it. Like, you know, it was kind of adopted. I kind of like absorbed how I saw my mum and how I saw my dad behave, and so on and so forth. And that's what I became. Touch wasn't really in their touch wasn't really in their, yeah, their methodology. Do you know what I mean? But the language of touch, and I know some of you now, if your language is touch, just please make a note of it now, if that's what it is. And that could result from anything from like physical touching to like kissing to, you know, rubbing the earlobe, like whatever it may be. So that's the first language. The second language is words, words of affirmation. Yeah. Words like I love you, or you are also, like you just use like that poet earlier, like that's, maybe it's his love language. I don't know. Yeah. I was rubbish, absolute rubbish at telling girls how I felt. Like emotionally, I was castrated. Like I was not in touch with how I felt at all. I might have been angry, but I wouldn't say nothing. And I know a lot of brothers can relate. And that relates to like mental health and, yeah, like post-traumatic slave syndrome and everything else. Absolutely. But the language of words, yeah, is definitely some of you guys' language. And if that is your language, just make a little note of it, because we're going to touch back. We might make reference to it afterwards when we're a little bit more interactive. The third language. Oh, yeah, and also, yeah, with words of yeah, the language of words is the ability to speak life into people as well. You know, this is definitely my language now because I work with young people. I have to speak power into them, and I love how I use certain words, and, you know, getting into that whole realm. Like, words is powerful. Words is spells, as some of you know. And also as well, I used to say some bad words, yeah, to the queens growing up. Because this was not my language, I said some awful things. And if anyone, like, I don't know, it's a small world, innit? If I have said anything and I've really like wrecked someone's life up in here, I apologize, like seriously, sincerely. I've definitely transformed my ways. And also we have to be also grateful, or we have to appreciate the power of language and the power of words, and not to say the wrong words, you know, because saying something, you could really impact someone and you just don't know. They're like silent bullets. The third love language. Who can guess what that one is? Put a little comment in the group. Hey, you need to wait, man. Michaela, wait. So this one is time, family. Time. Time is something that, wow. You know, like last 2 weeks ago, I went to my friend's house and everyone was on their phones, like the children in the bedroom, playing, what game were they playing? They were playing Among Us. Like, time does not mean that you're there in the same place. It's about having that quality time, meeting up and having those conversations, just laughing, just engaging. The language of time, family. How do we spend our time? And this is very important. You know, in schools, I do workshops around social media addiction. Yeah, scary, sad. Like I can't even go into it right now. I don't have that kind of time. But it's deep, deep, deep. And yes, you can have a little bit of all the love languages, but yeah, where we place our time now shows us deep, deep down, yeah, what we're really interested in, where we're putting our energy. But the language of time, especially now with the lockdown and everything else, is something that we need to pay close attention to, where we're going to place our time. And I know some of you love that quality time. The fourth love language is the one that I just got terribly wrong, is gifts. Giving people gifts, presents, so on and so forth. Me personally, I hate this. Maybe because I have no connection to it, because that wasn't a language in my household. Yes, we've got presents and stuff, but that was not it. But I do know I've come across some people who, you give them a gift, their eyes light up. It's like the world has changed. They're so appreciative. And then other people don't. We're all diverse. And it was only at that point I started to realize that love has different expressions. This morning at one of our sessions, we was talking about, because I do sessions with young boys, 8 to 12 every Saturday, and we was talking about the Orishas. And we was explaining to the young boys on the call that Orisha is not like there's a god. Orisha is like is like nature's various expressions, you know. And it's like with love, love have different expressions. It expresses itself differently. And depending on your frequency, depending on your makeup and so on and so forth, will determine which one you gravitate towards. But these things can change, family. These things can change. When I say things, yeah, these languages, yeah, your language can change. And the last language is service. Yeah, is service. And with service, this is my love language, 100%. Yeah, because my mum worked 2 jobs, my dad worked hard. That's what I saw. You know, I didn't hear a lot. I love you. You're my apple of my eye. I didn't hear all of that. But trust me, like if I needed socks, if I needed my socks ironed, mum would do that. If I needed food, my mum would do. Like my dad work. You know what I'm saying? Hard workers. And this was 100% my love language. But what started to happen, family, is, and yeah, big up to all the nurses as well, NHS, all the frontline workers. People a few weeks ago were clapping because we realized that your love language, you know, not exclusively, is service, doing for others before you do for yourself. And I know that some of you, this is your love language too, you know. And then I started to realize that we, or myself, this is something I had to own. I had to learn how to speak other people's languages, because now I had this information. Then I knew that, Davis, you need to learn how to communicate. I had to train myself, family, how to communicate. I got a daughter who's very sensitive. And when I say she's not sensitive like that. I'm just saying, if I want to get the best out of her, I need to learn how to speak her language. Yeah, straight. So it doesn't matter if I cook a breakfast and if I do this and that, and I'm always working and I'm displaying. My daughter wants quality time. She wants me to sit next to her, like, you get me, like it's all up in my armpit, and that's what she wants. You know what I'm saying? And I have to learn that language for me to build that connection with her. You know, my son's love language is totally different to his mum's love language. So now I become linguistic, if that's the word. And it's something that I'm encouraging all of us, yeah, to develop different languages, love languages, so we can connect with our beautiful community. Look, like there's how many people in this group chat now? All of us are different persuasions, different understandings. If this was a physical place, we all need to connect with each other. Yeah, not neglect, not isolate, just connect. Don't say, oh, that person's weird. Why? Just because you can't speak their language. It's all expressions of love, family. And we know that love is the most powerful force, in this universe. The application of Black love. That's what we're talking about today, how to apply it. The first thing is, please find out what your love language is, you know, exercise it, but also learn what languages you need to develop. Yeah, learn what languages you need to develop. Now, family, I did say, yeah, there's a second situation. Yeah, there's a second situation that I want to share with you guys. And this second situation is so important. Why is it so important? It's because it's to do with our children. It's to do with the apple of our eye. Yeah. And because it's to do with the apple of the eye, if we don't get this right, then we're in for a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And our children as well are going to be in for a lot of trouble. So this happened, yeah. So this one goes back to 2017. Yeah. So this is the second situation, 2017. And I was representing Manhood Academy Global. We work in schools, we go into prisons, and all of that great stuff that you guys are aware of. And we spoke in a period of, like, say, I think like 2 months or so, we spoke to 1,000 teenagers. Yeah. So I love doing research. Yeah, I love doing first-hand research. I love going out there and seeing for myself. I don't like doing research on the internet to find out, oh, what do people, I want to see it for myself, you know? So I had a little theory and I thought, you know what? Let me test it out. Let me speak to 1,000 young people and see what they're saying. Yeah. And that's what I did. And maybe some of your sons were involved because we're all over London, you know? So maybe some of your sons were involved. Now, we asked these young people a simple question. And remember, this is all Black love, family. This is all Black love. Yeah? What type of man do you want to become? Some of you, we need to be asking our boys these kind of questions. They need to be able to visualize the type of man they're growing into. Otherwise, the rock, like, it's very important that they have a positive mental image of the type of positive man that they want to become. Yeah. I've never had anyone ask me that question. Maybe when I was like 35-ish, you know what I'm saying? Like, big man, way too late. We need to be asking them from young. But anyway, we asked 1,000 young people, what type of man do you want to become? One characteristic with the naked truth is we're non-judgmental. So we don't judge people. We don't make you feel bad for saying certain things. Like, whatever you say, we still love you unconditionally. We'll work through it and we'll make things different if we need to. Yeah. We gave them, just to make it easy and just to frame the conversation, we gave them 6 archetypes. Yeah. So 6 types of men. Right. And we had it on a big, like, placard, you know, like it was A1, and we posted it on the wall, and we told the young people that choose which one, yeah, represents the type of man that you want to become when you get older. They're all teenagers. Like I said, there was no judgment. All of it was anonymous. So we don't want to know who did what or who said what. No, keep it anonymous, feel safe, and make your choice. They had to choose one. Yeah. And prior to that, though, we gave them a 1-hour workshop. So we went through each archetype. So if there was a particular, I'll use alpha male for now, because even though alpha male is not in the one of the 6, but I'll use it because some of you are aware. So there's a type of man called the alpha male. Yeah. He is like the boss, the king, whatever you want. There's certain characteristics that are assigned to be an alpha male. Yeah. So we done a workshop explaining all these 6 different types, just so young people knew what type, like they knew. We wanted them to make an informed choice. So we gave them that information. I don't know why I keep on doing this to myself, you know, like the shock that I got, it was just like, but it was so valuable. Anyway, the results were shocking. And the images that you're going to see, family, they do not reflect the types of men, but in some cases they might. But yeah, just to add a little bit of animation, there's some images as well. Anyway, Homer Simpson. Yeah. So we had the image of him on the wall, and next to it was Waste Man. Waste Man, because in my opinion, sorry if he represents someone in your family, whatever, but yeah, he was a type of man. And out of the 1,000, 10 people, yeah, 10 people unapologetically wanted to be a waste man. And one of the characteristics was still lives at home with his mom, don't really want to do anything. He's got potential, but he's happy just being at home. He's happy just doing, like, playing games and everything else. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, 10. Anyway, and that was the least amount of votes. Yeah, the least amount of votes. The next type, one second, I'm trying to get rid of this. Yeah, the next type was this archetype or this type of man called the professional. Yeah, the professional. Out of 1,000, only 29 young boys, predominantly black, maybe let's say 98% black boys in London, aged between that year 7, 8, and 9, because year 10 and 11 had exams and stuff. So year 7, 8, and 9, only 29 wanted to be the professional, meaning work hard, get a job, get a career, you know, like this, the traditional route. Like, I know there's other routes, but you understand, we know what a professional is. Yeah, we know, but only 29. That was slightly concerning. When that came in, I was like, what? So we need to be raising the expectations of our children, each and every one of us. And even if the child is not yours, even if you don't know the child, we need to raise our children and raise the expectation. That's why companies like Manhood Academy, obviously, Westside Young Leaders, even this platform is very important. So our young people know that the bar's not down here, the bar is up here. Anyway, 29 votes. In 4th place, yeah, was the archetype that we call the OG. Yeah, 162 votes out of 1,000. The OG is similar to the professional, And the descriptors that we had next to the OG is that, yes, he's got money. Yes, he dresses good, but he's a criminal. Yeah, he's got a dark side. So he could be seen as the dark side to the professional. Like, he will manipulate you for wrong. You know, he's the stalker. He's the one that does domestic violence. He is the dark man. He just wants power. And when we explained all of this, we didn't glamorize it. We just explained it, and we kind of removed all emotion out of us explaining it. This so young people didn't feel inclined to choose this over that. 162. So when we're talking about Black Love Family, we have to start looking at our young people. They are our products. We've produced them. They're here. Are they reflecting? Do we wait until their 20s, 30s before they start showing black? Like, to me, we need to be seeing our children. Yeah, that's in my head through my eyes. Over here in the UK, in the West. Yeah. In third place, I think this is third place, we had The Farmer. Yeah, The Farmer, 162. And The Farmer was, a lot of these young boys, they want to have as many children as possible. They want to leave a legacy. They want to be here when they're gone. That was the narrative that was attached. They want to have a big family. They want to look after their children. So it's not just about having children and this disappearing, even though some of the young people out of the 92, when we had the discussion after, they, you know, that was their idea. Like, I just want to have their children. Like, are you going to look after them? Maybe, it depends on the girl, you know, that conversation, but we'll shelf it. But a lot of our children want to have a lot of children. And we thought that was interesting. 192. I know time is skipping, so let me move on. In second place was The Hustler. This was when I was growing up, yeah? 288. 288 young black boys out of 1,000 just want to hustle, yeah? Make money and more money, and maybe some videos, and make money and more money, and have a few girls and make money. So they are very money orientated. 288. And in top place, yeah, first place, are young people. And, you know, I pray that this has changed. If I was to do this again, I hope, you know, but I've just seen a pattern. And I'm sure some of you have seen the pattern. 319 of these, of the 1,000, this wants bare gal. They want as many women as possible to manipulate, you know, to get on their phone. Like, the conversation that was attached to this, it was concerning, especially with social media and Snapchat and all of that stuff. Like, it is very, very, very concerning what our boys, and also what our boys are prepared to do to get girls. So when we're talking about Black love, we have to see the impact that we're having on our children. Yeah. And the conversation, like I said, the conversation about the boys and girls was concerning. Let's move on. How am I doing for time, bro?
But we want to get into the interactivity and get some people asking questions. But when you're ready, bro, we'll make some people some panelists and see what they say about these love languages, because I know some people want to talk about this.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. You know, so and yeah, 100%. And also, we have to make sure we speak the love language of our children, family. They need to be bathed. There's a saying in our community: if we don't initiate, right? If we do not initiate the children into the village, into the community, they will burn it down just to feel the warmth. And that's what we're seeing, family. Like, we know gangs exist. We know, like, the narrative of the stab. We know it's very powerful. Like, drill and all of this, we know it's very powerful in our community. Young people gravitate towards it left, right, and center. And even when you look at characters like Eric Killmonger, he was a reflection of that. Yeah, people celebrated him. Yeah, he was better than T'Challa. He wanted to do this, he wanted to do that. But we show young people this clip, yeah? And I'm gonna stop. I've got one more slide after. We show young people this clip. This to say that, is this the type of archetype you want to become?
I'll make sure both you guys get paid.
Oh, I ain't worried about the money, bro. I know you're good for it. On our way back, just drop us off in Wakanda.
You don't want to go there, boy?
Yeah, I do.
Drop it! Or your little Bonnie and Clyde routine ends today. Put your gun down now!
I'm sorry. Sorry, Eric.
It's gonna be okay.
He just shot his girlfriend. You know, he shot his girlfriend. Black Panther would not have done that. So even though we rate Killmonger and he was so fixated on the end product, on the mission, yeah, that was his love language. He didn't care about anyone that he hurt in the process, you know? So family, let me stop sharing. Yeah. So it's very important that we do bathe ourselves in these different love languages. And I definitely would like to hear from some of you guys, you know, what your particular love language is. And how did you adopt it? Where did it come from? Do you even know where it came from?
Before we continue, please, people, put your ones in the chat for brother Davis Williams. That was absolutely amazing. Show your appreciation for Davis. Please put your ones in the chat. Show him some love. Show him some love.